Namaste. Illustrious guests, Upasana Kamineni and Swapna, special invitees, all our viewers, and fellow flow members. On behalf of Chairperson Usharani Manni and her committee, I, Honorary Secretary and EC Head ORCOM, Priya Gastar, welcome you all to today's fireside chat. We are taught the journey is the destination, but every journey comes with myriad of opportunities to set up milestones. Our journey with flow gives us the chance to travel 1,000 meaningful miles. Let's make the most of it. I now invite UVL Ananda, EC Head Media and Social Media, to start the afternoon on an auspicious note with an invocatory shloka.
Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Mahannisam Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadanta Upasmahe Ekadantam Upasmahe.
Thank you, Ananda. You've made sure we've had Lord Ganesha's blessings in abundance. How far the beams of smallest light can reach. I request our special guest, Upasana Kamineni, Swapna, and Chairperson Usharani Manni to please light the ceremonial lamp and light up our inner spirit. Spotlight on the ladies, please. Thank you, ladies. I now request Chairperson Usharani Manni to share her message with us.
Our eminent guests, Upasana Kamineni and Swapna, special invitees, respected past states, and my dear fellow flow members. Namaste. Welcome to our Power Hour 2. We call our speaker sessions that, but we believe in their unique journeys, in the account of their personal trials and triumphs. There is a world of experience for us to draw from.
But I can't hear them.
It has always been our endeavor to extend the learning curve by providing opportunities of knowledge sharing, training, upskilling, in short, all that it takes to make sure our members feel enriched. This is a time when the world seems set for a course of correction, and this is the time when we have an opportunity to recalibrate. In the last 2 weeks, since I came on board as chairperson, I have seen my dynamic executive committee go out of the way to understand, adopt, do, and get things done. We have had 2 rounds of interviews for new members, and I must say, the quality of intake has been simply outstanding, to put it mildly. Our social outreach plan, that for obvious reasons will be our biggest focus this year, has been set in motion. Continuing the focus on agri empowerment, we will impart skill development training in beekeeping, dehusking, and making of cold-pressed oils for women farmers. We are also formulating plans for village adoption. Cheriyal is an art form native to Telangana, but losing its identity rapidly. We are in advanced talks with leading artisan families in the village of Cheriyal to see how we can help propagate their art and make their products adaptable to the mainstream markets. Similarly, we are interacting with the large bazaar bangle makers to enhance the scope of their product line beyond bangles. Taking a cue from the National Flow Imperative for the year, we will be exploring the possibility of creating tourism trails to Cheriyal and also to Weavers Village. We are in talks with State Tourism Department, NSDC and TAAI to train tour guides and identify rural and urban homestays. Still, livelihood generation is key to survival. As we head towards a restart, we are associating with Hamara Bachpan Trust to provide online skilling for technology empowerment of our underprivileged women. Financial and digital literacy courses are part of this plan. With the Tata Strive on our side, we are looking at developing a technology-based scalable model for skilling that will focus on quality training, leading to employability and entrepreneurship opportunities for young women. For creating large-scale skilling opportunities, we have tied up with McLean Group of Companies, which is empaneled with Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushalya Yojana to impart employability-based vocational training to youth between the ages of 18 and 30. The scope includes placements in suitable jobs and monitoring their progress. Our association with the National Skills Training Institute and ITIs will enable us to create specially designed and modularized courses and facilitate industry attachment and apprenticeship programs for the urban workforce. Incubation support from VHUB and CIE of IIIT, the RTAE, and the Board of Directors course from IIM Ahmedabad are all designed to keep our members on the learning curve. Our vision for the year, Live Empowered, encapsulates all this and more. IT team, video please. Thank you. What can I say about our young guest today? Her confident stance and stride tell the story of a self-made, complete woman. In just short span of time, she has taught herself to strike a perfect balance between the corporate world she's born into and the glamour world she's married into. A tough task indeed, but one that she seems to manage quite easily. In conversation with her is Swapna, who has carved a special spot for herself in the hearts and minds of her viewers with her spunky style of journalism. Thank you, ladies, for accepting our invitation. My team will tell us more about our two dynamic guests. Thank you. Over to Priya.
Thank you, Usha. So what defines Upasana Kamineni? Being a public figure, most of us have been witness to and marvel at her personal transformation. But this is just the foothills of her Everest. The role she dons as Vice Chairperson, CSR, of Apollo Foundation, which believes in identifying, diagnosing, treating, and educating people in need of medical care, and as Managing Director of Apollo Life, which believes in making the Indian workforce increase their productivity and manage their well-being, were born out of a strong sensibility to create socialistic, sustainable businesses that have a meaningful and large-scale impact. Today, Apollo Life has the largest number of occupational health centers in the country. Along with other arms of the group, Apollo touches more than 35 million lives across the world. The Apollo Foundation believes in giving back with respect and with empathy. The organization has conceptualized the Total Health Program, a breakthrough self-sustaining model to help rural India stay healthy from womb to tomb. Born into Indian corporate healthcare's first family, Upasana's understanding of health and wellness and where they are headed is deep and value-based. This, coupled with her disarming candor, has made her a well-being influencer on almost all digital platforms and social fora. Understandably, this young achiever has received several accolades, including the Femina Award for Recognition in Healthcare and the Dada Saheb Phalke Excellence Award for Philanthropist of the Year. She was also recognized as one of the tycoons of tomorrow by Forbes. For her deep love and concern for animals, she has been appointed as one amongst the only two brand ambassadors of World Wildlife Fund in India. Welcome, Upasana. This is a session we are all eagerly looking forward to. And now, over to Joint Secretary Radhika Agarwal to introduce our moderator for the day.
Thank you, Priya. Sapna is the consulting editor of the Telugu language news channel 10 TV. She is also a TV presenter, anchor, and political show host. Sapna initially worked for TV9 and Sakshi and is also a journalist. She has a media presence of almost 20 years. She is a well-trained performer of Carnatic, classical vocal, and musical instruments. She hosted the Ramoism series with RGV. She is the director of Sri Venkateshwara Bhakti channel by Andhra Pradesh government headed by Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy. Sapna is an active spiritual seeker and has interest in cooking, wellness, and philosophy. Presently, she is also working as a radio jockey in 92.7 FM. Thank you.
Thank you, Radhika. For all the good work that they are doing on the front lines, we owe a debt of gratitude to our healthcare workers. On behalf of our lovely guest today, we are glad to make a small donation to United Way Hyderabad. ITT, felicitation certificates. IT team, you didn't play the one for Upasana. Can you play it now? Okay, you can play it at the end of the program. And so over to Swapna, Upasana, and Usha.
Thank you very much, Priya. At the onset, I'd like to welcome Upasana for this conversation that I look forward to. And I'd like to thank Usha Mane for this wonderful opportunity. And thank you, Usha, for giving us such a wonderful introduction and an opportunity to express ourselves. And I'd like to welcome all those wonderful, dynamic, empowered people out there watching this conversation. And I hope to make it as useful and as fun as possible. Upasana, very good afternoon to you. You're one of the most admired women of the Telugu states. And we're actually very proud to own you up as our Telugu girl. So unlike most interview formats where the rapid fire is at the end, I figured why not start with the rapid fire so that we can set stage on a slightly lighter note with all the tough times that we are actually going through now. And all of us are looking forward to your answers. Upasana, is that fine? Can we start with the rapid fire, please?
You can.
Right, Upasana. So request you to keep this as brief as possible, your answer, just so that we see what comes to you most spontaneously. Okay, Upasana, I start now. We have 6 questions. Describe yourself in 3 words, please. Describe yourself in 3 words.
So I would say dynamic, generous, and trying to be disciplined.
Wonderful, wonderful. That was really, really quite fast. Thank you, Upasana. Favorite movie ever?
Hum Aapke Hain Kaun.
Wow. Yeah, one of the really nice movies. If you were not doing what you're doing today, Upasana, what would you be doing?
I don't know. I would be maybe designing, but then I realized that it's practically not possible. So it doesn't work.
Right.
I love what I'm doing.
Upasana, one person you would want to cook and invite for dinner.
You can invite for dinner.
International, any personality that comes to your mind right away.
Oprah Winfrey.
Wow. That's a big, I think, yes from all of us here. The 5th question, Upasana. If yours were a biopic, which actor, actress would be playing your part in the Upasana biopic?
Well, I don't think, first of all, a biopic should be made of me because, well, I haven't even started fulfilling my life's purpose.
Right.
But if they do it, then I don't know, maybe someone a few years later, I have no clue. And I didn't think of this so far. So.
Right. I know it's not something we think of every day. And finally, Upasana, if you had one superpower, if you had one extraordinary power, what would it be? Or what would you want it to be?
So I wish I had energy in my hands to, to grant people the boon of happiness. Because if you're happy, you will be able to live a healthier life.
Wow, looks like you decoded the one thing that makes us all productive and who we are. Thank you for that wonderful rapid fire, Upasana. And obviously, all of us are going through a major crisis worldwide. And with whatever the world is going through right now, Upasana, now that we've ended the rapid fire, if you could turn the clock back, what advice would you give your younger self, Upasana?
What advice? So, well, the past week has been one of the most toughest weeks of my life. I lost my grandfather 2 days ago, and I've been fortunate enough to have my both sets of grandparents with me for a long time, till I was like 30, in my 30s. So I'm really fortunate to God. But 2 days ago, I learned the value of grieving when close family members pass, and I learned the value of life. So if I could turn back and if I had something to tell people to do, I would tell them to make memories and experiences and document those, because something I learned is that documenting memories is my grandfather had so many lovely memories, and those are the things that are keeping us together, keeping us happy during these tough times. So I think keeping experiences alive and actually keeping memories and photo albums, and it may be irritating at that time, but you must document and organize things. I'll tell you why I'm speaking like this. It's because you have no control over life and death. So people do not have control over this, whether there is a pandemic today or whether it's a disease or whether it's a lifestyle. We see people, even before the COVID time, we were seeing people pass away with lifestyle disease. It was cancer or, accidents. You have no control over all this. So the only thing you can do is to spend time and create memorable experiences with near and dear. And I think I would go back and look at those memories again, and I want to document and organize and capture every beautiful moment that I have, that I can go back to whenever I want to make myself happy.
It makes us all think, Upasana, I mean, about each of us and our lives as well. What you just spoke has a tremendous impact on, all of us here. And on this note, also please accept our heartfelt condolences and also our appreciation and gratitude that despite this tragedy, you've chosen to be here with us today and speak to so many of us and inspire all of us, Upasana. Thank you so much for
So,
being here.
I would like to take this opportunity to say that, I didn't want to do this interview today, but my grandfather has taught me discipline and commitment. So once I've given a commitment, I ought to stick to it, and that's why I'm here today.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, Upasana. And Usha, I'd like you to join us in this conversation and perhaps, ask your own brand of questions, because we would all like to listen as well.
Thank you, Upasana, for joining us today. Upasana, what do you think India could have done better in handling the present crisis?
See, there's no right or wrong to any situation. India is trying its best, and we cannot take examples from any other country because we are unique by ourselves. Nobody has so many different cultures, nobody has so many different people and problems that we Indians have. So I think what we need to do is appreciate what is happening right now. I completely appreciate the lockdown. I completely appreciate what the government is doing. There's nothing that we could have done better. So what we need to do is to now cope with a very positive attitude, because if the government does one thing, people will criticize. If they do the other, there'll be another set of people who will criticize. So why spread so much negativity about this? It really doesn't make any sense. We all need to cope and move ahead, because this is a cycle of life. And we don't know when the vaccine is coming out. Everyone's trying their best. But about India doing better or this, we are nobody to judge. What we can do is to help people whenever it's needed. I know it may sound philosophical, but it is practical. What you need to do right now is help. Even if you help like 2-3 people, it's fine, because you've done your bit. And that's how a nation so big and so with so much love and culture can actually thrive and be much better. So, whether it's social distancing or following rules or here and there, you can't change ingrained culture from, just through or just overnight with one pandemic. So we need to understand a balance and embrace whatever the government is doing or whatever we are doing or whatever instructions the WHO is giving. Just embrace that with positivity, and that's what you need to do. You can't say, oh, we could have done this better, oh, we shouldn't have done this. So I don't believe in regulating anything, because if we had not done this, we wouldn't have got the result that we wanted. So I think that India, as such a large nation, and with our government and with our people and with our frontline service people, our doctors, our police, everyone out there that's working so hard, I think kudos to them. I'm really happy. And it's time for us to spread positivity. We have absolutely no right to sit and judge anybody. And I think we should stop that as soon as possible.
Well said, Upasana. What is the one big lesson to be learned from this pandemic?
So the one big lesson to be learned is each one can learn a lesson, in their own lives, depending on their own situations. So one thing is do not waste. Understand the value of travel. Understand the value of meeting people. Understand the value of eating that full meal properly, because there are so many people out there who don't have that food. So next time you over order in a restaurant, most of you are privileged out there. So if you're ordering like 5 different dishes that you're having and wasting half of them, please understand that there are others out there that have suffered during this pandemic. So please do not waste. Think about the planet, think about your body, and do understand that you have the power to make the change.
Wonderful. I think all of us do have the power to make the change, Upasana. That the fact that you emphasize that time and again just shows it. It seems like you have actually found your calling, in doing what you're doing right now. And but we always wonder, Upasana. I mean, starting off from a corporate family, a really accomplished family, and becoming the daughter-in-law of one of the most accomplished and the first family of Tollywood, in fact. How has life changed for you? Has it changed a lot? Did you have to embrace a lot of new things coming into this family? And how do you balance both sides?
I'm almost 8 years into my marriage now, and it's been just a breeze. I mean, I was telling my mom, do you know I'm married for 8 years? She's like, what? I said, yeah, it's been so long. So I think I've adjusted pretty well, and life is, sorry. So life is like, life is all about adjusting. I don't want to be philosophical, but I've said this before that the thing is that even if I was marrying into another corporate family, I would have to adjust, or they would have to adjust to me. It would have been the same. So I think my in-laws and everyone the family plays a huge role. And of course, my husband, definitely he had enough exposure, and he's open-minded enough to embrace different cultures, different people. And I didn't spend a lot of my time in India. I lived 5 years abroad by myself. So coming back to India, was like very different for me, because my parents brought me up very independent and brought me up with a lot of trust they had in me. So I think that coming back, those things worked to it when I wanted to adjust into this. But yes, the being in the limelight was a bit overwhelming, but I made my peace with it. So I think that is where things were. It was a rocky start here, there. But one good thing I've learned out of all this is I've learned the art of being thick-skinned. So if anyone says anything, it doesn't affect me as much as it would before.
That bit that you just shared with us is, although it's very personal, that will help a lot of our viewers watching, participating today. Can you give us an example how one becomes thick-skinned?
So I was interviewing Sam some time ago, and we were just talking, and she was like, don't even get worried or think about any of these. And Sanya also said, don't worry about people trolling you or thing and all that. Just turn a blind eye and don't even worry about it. So, but now, I don't even get so many. The nice thing is, one thing I'll tell you about social media that I've seen by myself. So if you post something with a positive attitude, and if you're thinking positive, you won't get any negative comments. It's crazy. You actually try doing it and then you do it. But if you post anything with a bit of doubt also, your comments turn out to be like this. Whatever your thoughts are, your comments turn out to be like that. I don't know what it is, but try it sometimes and then you will see. A lot of you may resonate with that. I've seen that 2-3 times. So whenever I post with a positive attitude and, with the thing of being carefree, and yes, I want to speak about it. Like, for example, I did the Indian toilet position where I told people to sit in the Indian toilet position for like 5 minutes. I didn't think it was like so bad or so thing because, I couldn't do it. And I really wanted to be my achievement by sitting in that Indian toilet position.
Right.
But, my office, my Swami, who thought, he's like, ma'am, what are you doing? People may be a bit negative about all this and, they may perceive it in a different way. I said, Swami, this is something that I want to achieve. It's my personal thing and I want to share it with the world because it'll help so many people. So let's go ahead and post it. And we posted with a positive attitude. And I was so happy that, most of the 99% of the comments were amazing. So it really meant a lot, and you must post. So dealing with the media was the biggest thing, and I've overcome that. Now I know how to deal with things. I'm a seasoned wife now.
That is again something that all of us appreciate here, Upasana, because what you did was incredibly bold. Because not that whether it's right or wrong is a different thing, but venturing into a space that would raise a lot of eyebrows potentially, and being so clear about it and having the conviction to still continue in doing it.
Actually, honestly, this is where my thick-skinned attitude comes in place. I don't care if you guys raise an eyebrow or no. I did it with a clean heart to help you guys get healthy. And whether if it's because I know your gut health is the most important for your health. If your gut is clean, you're not going to get half the lifestyle disease. So seeing my patients come in or, to the hospital every day when I go with my aunt and when I used to go with my grandfather and all that, it's like crazy. I see so many people because of their gut not being right, it affects their health. So if I can sit in this position and get people to get healthy with that, then what the hell?
Absolutely, and a big round of applause from all of us. We applaud your courage, your conviction, and your single-minded purpose in spreading wellness. So Upasana, how does it work now? Now that you're so busy with everything and you're married to one of the busiest actors of Tollywood, so how does it work between you and Ramcharan? Do you adjust your schedules to meet up regularly, or does it just flow very naturally?
This is the wrong time to be asking me this question. We've been together for 60 days, and I think we got a bit too much of each other.
Okay.
So we're waiting for our careers to start. But I think that, however we are, it's our relationship is an equal relationship, which is very important, where we respect each other. And I think respect is a huge thing. I respect his profession, he respects mine. And it's I won't say it's very unique because we're in 2020. Come on, if men don't do that now, then they need to rethink their lives, not ours. But coming back to that, I think that so I'll tell you, during quarantine we were like, okay, fine, we need to spend only a certain amount of time together. And the rest of the time is like we'll do things by ourselves and then we'll have our me time. So we had a routine. Otherwise, imagine both of us when we're staying by ourselves in an apartment because we haven't moved into our in-laws yet. And so, it was very like, and I would do my work and he would work out and then we would like, spend only a few hours together. And I think that is our mantra of a healthy relationship because, eating into each other's space is really not.
You have tremendous clarity, looks like, Upasana.
Yeah, and both of us have that clarity.
Yep. Usha, I'd like to hand over to you to ask your next question and join us in this conversation.
Upasana, what prompted you to start Apollo Life?
So I've said this so many times, it may be so repetitive for others, but I'll tell you. So the reason why we started, it's not Apollo Life anymore, it's called Your Life. I moved away from the Apollo brand because I said, okay, I must become more universal. And I said, okay, fine, let's help people empower their own life. So it's all about your life now. Let us help you empower your life. So anyways, so it's your life now. And what prompted me is to see that 2-3 incidents. One was I started with a magazine because I was chubby and I wanted to lose weight. But the second part is I realized that when I started going to work at 2 o'clock, when people used to come back from lunch, they used to be so lethargic. Like they'll start yawning. Like this time is office yawning time. Everyone starts yawning because they've eaten so much curry and dal and rice and oof, all the stuff that you eat in your canteen for lunch. So then I said, oh my God, this is, first of all, you come in at around 9:30, 10, and then you go for lunch by 1 o'clock. And you don't work your full potential. So when do you work your full potential? Because in the morning, you have that only 3 hours of settling in and all that. Then you have a lunch break. Then you come in and your stomach is full. So your whole mind is busy digesting that heavy food. So when do you, and then it's time to go home again or it's time for chai. When is your brain works when your stomach is empty?
Right.
So then I realized we must change this culture. We must change these eating patterns, and we must help people increase their productivity. When the minute you feel lethargic after eating, that means that the food is too much for you. Food is supposed to give you energy, not make you lethargic. So that's when I realized that this whole corporate culture and corporate eating needs to change. So then we started our occupational health centers where we give nutrition advice and being in corporates. Because it's so important. If their canteens change, their whole productivity will change.
Right.
Nice advice, Upasana. I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on sustainability in business and personal life?
I don't know why sustainability is such a buzzword right now. It should be ingrained in you. So if you're not doing a sustainable business, you're not in business. You're doing crap. Because you have to be a conscious person, and I'm being so harsh because it is important right now about it. If you're doing business, you must make sure it is a sustainable business. Otherwise, do not do business, because business is something you not only do for money, but you do for personal pleasure. And trust me, you donate to a charity, but you do business for personal pleasure, for education, to experience, and money is a byproduct. So if you're not doing something sustainable, then you need to rethink your business, because you do business to make a positive impact to your life, the customer, as well as the planet. That's when you are doing business. So sustainability, I think, is the core of everything.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Upasana. And it's actually, like you said, it's perhaps the baseline of everything that we do. I mean, whether it's a profession or a business. Right. Upasana, I have this, I've always wondered, since wellness is your mission and your calling and your purpose, how can we all ensure that wellness becomes a natural part of our lives instead of a routine or a regimen that we impose? But wellness becomes like sustainability is a natural core of a business. How does wellness become a natural part of each one's life, whatever they're doing?
I don't know. Why do you brush your teeth every day? Who said that you have to brush your teeth every day? Why do you do it? Have you ever thought about it? Mm-hmm. Why do you shower every day? You don't have to shower every day, but why do you do it? Is it because maybe the soap and the detergent companies want you to use their soap every day? Or is it because the toothpaste companies want you to use their toothpaste every day? Why do you do it? So, the thing is, the doctors don't say that, doctors say you have to brush twice a day, but is it important? Why? So why I'm asking you this question is because I want to ask you, that's also wellness. So you have to choose what wellness is, and you have to put it into your life. Like you drinking water, like how much water are you drinking? You all need water to survive, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're not drinking the right amount of water, then that's not wellness. So I'll give you throw a tip in here, which is that your body weight into 0.033 equals the number of liters of water you need to drink. So that's very easy to do. So that's why wellness has to be a part of your life. And the sad thing is that all of you know all this at the back of your head, but you just don't implement it. You know white sugar is bad. You know that you shouldn't be eating after 7 o'clock. You know that you have to exercise every day. But the whole thing comes down to discipline. How many of us actually do it? Now, but if we are disciplined to eat 3 meals a day, and if we are disciplined to brush our teeth every day, then I think that we should bring in the other aspects as well.
Right. And the best part would be to perhaps find a wellness paradigm or a model that works for each one of us, which could be a little different from each other, but whatever brings us that wellness. But anyway, thank you for that wonderful piece of advice.
I also want to give one more piece of advice here with respect to wellness. It's that, there are so many quacks and enthusiasts out there that do not have a degree and are prescribing diets and are prescribing like fitness workouts and everything. Let me tell you, they all lead to injury and bad gut health. And what happens with bad gut health is that, you'll come and visit us in the hospital. Today, what we have all decided as a family is to try and keep people away from the hospitals. So, we are trying to tell people to start going. If it's important to go to a doctor who has a great degree, then it's important for you to go to a nutritionist who has a good degree and a fitness trainer who has a physiotherapy background, and ask the right questions. Please, enthusiasts, it works for them, but it doesn't mean that it works for you.
Right.
So it's very important to give equal weightage to your doctor, your nutritionist, and your physiotherapist who's creating the plan for you. And of course, a psychologist. I can go on and on about this topic, but I will, if I have time.
Honestly, we could go on and on listening, but I understand where you're coming from, that mental wellness is as essential as physical well-being.
So I tell you, mental wellness is not about just meeting the psychologist. Speaking to your astrologer is also mental well-being. Having someone to talk to and express your feeling and give you a positive direction is also mental well-being. I mean, if you have a big issue, then definitely speak to a trained professional.
Right.
I mean, I was in grief, and my coping mechanism, I don't want to scare anyone, but my coping mechanism was to get in touch with the spirit world.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've done a lot of past life regression and things like that to connect, because I explore alternate healing mechanisms to heal people. I'll talk sometime another time about that, because that's a whole session by itself. But I try, my whole life has been about trying and searching for new things that can help heal people, whether it's flower remedies, whether it's tissue salts, whether it's past life regression, whether it's medical science, whether it's going to Puttur and putting the Ayurveda packs on your hand. It's everything, because my granddad believes that, everything has to work in tandem with each other for the best result for the patient.
Oh, we all look forward to anything that you will have to say or do in this direction, because I think we have a lot of wellness. I mean, although wellness is a natural part of everybody's life, but people who are specifically interested in the wellness as an industry, as a business, as well as as a way of being. So really look forward to that, Upasana, whenever you have the time to share all your experiences with us, because past life regression and all that is really deep, and you must really have experienced a lot of real experiences, and you must have gone through a lot of things to come to a stage to have to do past life regression.
Yes, I did. And I'm really happy that I went through this, because it taught me so much during each and every single time. It's not just regression, but I've done different forms of meditation. So, and I used to be the person who used to sleep during meditation. Amla Garu was my first meditation teacher in school. And she'd tell you, I was horrible. My attention doesn't last. And then, now it's slowly building up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So overall, then, Upasana, when you look back at your life, who has actually shaped who you are? Is it your somebody in the family, or is it influences from all around you? And who would you think of as your first and primary and strongest influence in your life?
My father. So my father taught me how to be grounded. My father taught me how to be level-headed.
Mhm.
My father taught me how to make decisions and not regret them. My father taught me how to pursue to be the best. And I think that he's taught me how to give it your best, whether it's in trying to take care of a patient, whether it's at work, whether it's, with family, give it your best shot. And he also, one thing that I still haven't come to terms with is my dad always taught me how to be kind and nice to everybody, even if they are not, the best to you. He said you have to keep your dignity and you have to be kind to them. I mean, I told him, Dad, I'm human and I'm still young. When I come to your age, I'll do that. But that will be as I
Your clarity is really amazing, Upasana. So can I divert into something that perhaps you would not expect, while we are flowing in this direction? Did you ever have a celebrity crush, Upasana? And if yes, who?
I married my celebrity crush.
Oh my goodness.
And I realized he was a celebrity, and looking at him on screen was I married him.
So looking at him closer, did he seem different? Did he seem to be the same person you had perhaps imagined looking at him on the screen?
Some of my friends are watching this as well, and I'm going to zip my mouth about that because they, I think, know that his real life and real life is very, very, very different. So, well, I like him in both, but I don't want to say much.
But it was really heartening to see that in one of your interviews earlier, where I read up that both of you like to be friends, best friends.
Well, we're living, as I said, 8 years I've lived with him. If I'm not his friend, then it'll be like torture for me. I mean, every couple, grows together, and the first relationship they have is friendship, because love, to be called love, should have spikes. Otherwise, you will never know the value of love. So love can't be constant. If love is constant in your relationship, it becomes boring. And both of us like the ups and downs and the entertainment here, there, everywhere. We just love it. And so so I think friendship is our strength.
Yeah, a lot of mindfulness and awareness I see there, Upasana. I mean, obviously, both of you are really, really mindful of what you mean to each other. God bless. And so, in the process, I would like to ask one question, one or two more questions before I move to the audience questions, Upasana. One, have you both obviously made, come a little further away from the worlds you actually originally came from? Like in your case, have you changed your sensibilities, between the corporate and the entertainment world? Do you both disagree on things where you come to terms after an active? How do you resolve it?
So do you mean how do we resolve problems, or
How do you resolve differences of opinion? It could be about, animal rights. It could be about how to deal with corona. It could be anything. But when it comes to society and belonging to life and belonging to the surroundings, I mean, you could both be different people because of
So
different
I
backgrounds.
think this is an issue because each of us are entitled to our opinion and
Right.
our wants and needs, and each of us are entitled to that, and then we accept it. I may not accept so many things, and he may accept it. But the thing is that, I'm entitled to my opinion, and so is he. So now, sometimes there may not be a middle ground,
Right.
and that decision doesn't have to be taken also. So we just leave it. So and then we move on, because why bring up topics or dwell in things that that are not so important. Unless
Right.
it's a really important topic, then we call in a third person and then we figure it out. But if it's not an important topic, then why waste your time and energy?
Absolutely. So before we move to the audience questions, Upasana, I have one last question. As a celebrity and belonging to a family, a very accomplished family from both sides, do you feel the pressure of being socially responsible? I mean, the fact that celebrities have an influence on people, do you feel there's, any kind of pressure on you to think in a certain way, to be in a certain way? Has that ever, interfered with, you being who you are?
First of all, I am not a celebrity. I mean, I don't know what your definition of celebrity is. I'm definitely not a celebrity. So many of you are much, much more accomplished than me. And I'm not saying this just like that. I'm saying it because I really mean it. So, because my husband's on the big screen, definitely he's a celebrity, but not me. I mean, because I married him, I automatically don't become a celebrity. But I am a conscious person. I'm conscious. I am me. And I really thank everybody to give me the freedom to be me. And that's what today's talk was about, right? It says that it was the freedom to be me. And I am me. So you will see me sometimes in tracks, you will see me sometimes without blow-dried hair, you will see me sometimes as I want, you'll see me sitting in Indian toilet position, you'll see me in every part at work, anytime. For me, it's not, my outward appearances are not as important as the work I do, because I think that's important. And I'll tell you something, you started by introducing me saying that I'm from the first family of corporate healthcare. I was born into that, and then I was born into then I got married into this, and then yes, my grandfather's from a royal family thing and all. My dad told me that none of that matters. What I make for myself matters. Because when I die, my birth is not, and who I was born into is not going to be remembered. What is going to be remembered is what I did in this lifetime and how many people I helped, because those are my good points of karma.
So, just to sum it up, and before I hand over to the audience, Upasana, now that you've said all this, what is that one line statement that defines your purpose? I mean, have you found it? Are you still unfolding it? Is it about serving the society? Is it about being a good person? Is it about bringing wellness and healthcare in a better way? Is it specific, or is it you're still exploring?
I'm still very young to find my purpose, but right now my purpose is to help my family through this time, because I told you I just lost my grandfather 2 days ago, and my purpose in life is to be uh, is to just be a happy, positive person, because happy, positive people are the ones that are wanted and loved. You should not hold too much negativity in you, because that shows in your face, your skin, your words, your everything. So if you want to be this person that's loved, your whole life will change around you. And this is the time to get that realization and burn all your ego and your negativity and all the unnecessary problems you have with people and the others. I know I am, trust me on this. I'm not just giving, a Miss World speech right now, but I am actually I actually practice what I preach. So every night I make a list of things that I need to get rid of in my life, and I burn it. So
Wonderful, Upasana. We are with you in your intensity, in your emotion, and whatever you said today makes us all think and inspired, actually, into reflecting on some of the wonderful things you've said. Honestly, I've seen you from a distance, but I've never known you as such an intense person. And what you spoke today, I think, has a very positive impact on all of us here. I'd like to thank you before I hand over to the audience, because I think we have a few questions from the audience. Right, Priya? Can I hand over to you, please?
Yes, yes. That was so engaging. I think I almost lost my cue there, Swapna, if you hadn't alerted me. For someone so young, Upasana, your journey is so remarkable. And some of the things that you said are worth going into textbooks, for youngsters. I think so, yeah, really.
No.
And
I don't want to be that. This is my personal experience, and everyone is entitled to their own personal journey.
yeah, it can be put out there for them to learn from and maybe try out. Why not? And thank you so much, Swapna, for steering that conversation on the most interesting parts and many unexplored, I think, till date. And before we move on, Pranay from the IT team, can we have Upasana's felicitation certificate, please?
Thank you.
now it's time to take some questions from our audience. And there are a lot of hands going up in our Zoom room. We will start with a question from current FICCI chair, Apurva Jain.
Hi, Upasana. Thank you for inspiring an insightful session today. I would like to know, as a woman, when our idea of freedom conflicts with the society's belief system, what should one do without worrying to being judged or labeled?
You know, asking this question itself puts you out there saying that you're waiting to be judged. I mean, who is anybody to judge you? Do what you want. Your husband, your family, nobody can stop you. I mean, come on. We are living in 2020. Nobody has, and being a woman and freedom and things and all that, we got our freedom like when the British left us. I think after that, I know people may be like, oh, what are you saying? Women still have to do all this. But, you know, more than men, it's in the women's mindset, I feel. Because you forget me, okay? All of us are empowered. My family comes from a family of empowered women. But look at our nurses. Look at our massage therapists. The people who come in, they are free. They are empowered. They are amazing. So, you know, I think, is that your question?
Sorry?
Is that your question? Did I give you
Yes,
about
you did.
So what you need to do is to stop thinking that people are going to judge you. Because you have absolutely every right to do what you want.
Thank you.
Because you're going to be responsible for that and nobody else.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Upasana. And now we have Sarika Borugu, our events head, wanting to ask you a question.
Hi, Upasana. Hi. In this journey of freedom to be me, what is one thing we need to keep reminding ourselves about?
Wonderful question.
That you're a goddess.
Okay.
Trust me, you know, women are, you know, why I keep saying this is that the woman, did you see My Big Fried Greek Wedding?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the dialogue, right? Yes. The man is the head, but the woman is the neck. She's the one who turns the head here, there, and everywhere. So, you know, keep reminding yourself that you have the superpower and you are the goddess of your home. They pray to Lakshmi Devi. You guys are the Lakshmi Devi of your homes. And the minute you start thinking this, the whole world around you will change.
Yes. Thank you.
Ritu Shah, our Knowledge Labs head, will now ask a question. Ritu?
I can't hear you, sorry.
Ritu, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Hi, Upasana.
Hi.
It was a pleasure knowing the dynamic, generous, disciplined, and conscious Upasana.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Yeah. So my question to you is, Upasana, which freedom is most important to you? Mental, physical, or financial, and why?
Oh my God, this is such a tough question because I look at myself as such a free bird.
Yes.
You know, nobody can, cut my wings right now. So I can do exactly what I want. So that's why, you know, you guys are asking me questions that are so that are bringing me back into a cage. I'm already a free person and so are all of you. Just set yourselves free, then all these questions won't come up. I understand that you are a women's chapter and things like that, but, you know, don't ask yourself these questions.
I mean to say all freedom is important, but which is the most important of all the three?
I mean, what do I say? Mental freedom, because if your mind is right,
Yes.
then you go to work, then you'll go to you'll take care of your health, you'll take care of your family and everything. But what is mental freedom? Because if you don't have stress, then you know you need that bit of stress for your heart to perform well also. So I don't know, why are you guys caging yourselves? Just let yourself be free. You are a free soul. I mean, you're born into this world so that you can have experiences and enjoy it. Whether it's good or bad, enjoy yourself. I mean, why are you caging yourself as women?
Thank you, Upasana.
On to Pratibha Kunda.
Yeah. Hi, Upasana. This is Pratibha here. See, our history and our traditions, basically our whatever, it shapes our ideas and our thought process. And does this anyway come in between our freedom to be ourselves? For example, even if it's wellness, the way you talked about food and everything. Now we have a tradition of having maybe rice or whatever, that basic thing. And if you want to go into something new, you're always stopped. I mean, for some time you'll have the determination or whatever to do, and then you just get back. Is it right to go the way you want, or you're getting manipulated with the old thought process? And how do you deal with it?
So I think there are two different approaches
In
here.
between our freedom
So,
to be ourselves.
Because the way we want to think, we are not able to. Suddenly we are just getting manipulated with the old style and the new style. And then how do we go about that?
So the old style worked for them. Okay.
Yeah.
So they say eat how your grandparents ate.
Yes.
My grandparents lived in America. They ate McDonald's. I'm not going to sit and eat McDonald's. And the thing is that for them, and they ate a mix of other stuff as well. But the most important thing is it worked for them. All that they are trying to say is that statement is wrong, because as generations progress, what our grandparents ate is very different.
True, but then you try to get that into your present food habits. Suddenly we say, no, we have to eat millets now. We have to get back to maybe salads, and then again you go back in and out, kind of confused with your past and your present.
Actually, that shouldn't even matter. What should matter is your body, your environment, your surrounding, and your budget right now. So if that requires you to eat a certain way, then you must. And please, 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 I wanted to say this: do not get influenced by marketing. Because people can influence you in so many different ways. If someone comes and says, oh my God, I did this diet, you guys must do it, you're going to lose so much weight, don't be fools and do it, because it may not work for you. And then you do what's good for you and yourself, not what worked on others. I mean, they don't have a degree to reach to you, and it worked for them because their body was a certain type.
Oh, thank you.
Subcommittee member Anjali Shah would like to ask you a question, Upasana.
Hi, Upasana.
Hi.
Our culture plays a great deal of importance on family, and often a woman's identity is tied closely to it. How do we find balance between the family role and our own individual identity?
I mean, I don't understand your question. I'm so sorry, because I said I'm in my Atama. My Atama is the boss. I mean, she sits at home and she runs the house like such a successful business. So I'm not understanding where your identity is, and think sometimes even my father-in-law shivers when he sees her. So the thing is, it depends on how you are, and how things are here, and how you project yourself, your confidence, and your well-being. So I think that there's the balance is there when you feel equal first, and you need to feel empowered, and so what, you've seen my husband cooking for me so many times. When I come back from work, he cooks for me. So there's a balance between us, and I think that's really important, that you all feeling that you have to take care of the house only. Your husband can take care of the house. I know it's they can't do that right now, but if they want to be snazzy, young, and up to date with traditions of today's generation, then they better start.
Thank you.
And one more thing I would add to this is, please do not bring up your sons like that. Bring up your sons where they are taught equality in relationships. And mothers, oh yeah, this is such an important thing. If you are moms, that your sons are of marriageable age, please don't try to find a mother in the wife for your husband. That's the dumbest thing to do, trust me.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your son to marry his mummy. So it's very important that you find a soulmate and not someone to care for. And equality in a relationship is really, really important.
Thank you, Upasana.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And one last question from our past chair, Rekha Lahoti.
She just left the meeting, Priya, so you can go ahead.
Okay, I thought I just saw her. All right. Okay, thank you, ladies, for all those questions, and thank you, Upasana, for fielding them like a pro. And over to Senior Vice Chairperson, Umachi Gulpati, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Hi. Good afternoon, all. So another wonderful program from FLO Hyderabad chapter. Today's topic, I was looking forward from a very long time. It's a very, very interesting topic. You know, it sounds very simple, freedom, but the word, it has so much of power in that. It can't be bestowed on someone. It must be achieved. That is what I always believe in. It's very proud to think that I'm a free human being with an independent will. My destiny is my choice. I have the freedom even to make mistakes. I always feel in those lines, and I think it built and it is running in our blood, is what I think. Anyhow, coming back to today's program, Upasana, you spoke with so much of clarity. Thank you so much for coming. And, in spite of this stressful time, I love your spirit. Thank you so much on behalf of me and also from all my committee members. Thank you. Swapna, you are always a stream, flowing with so much of, speed and, no, you're unstoppable. That's what I feel whenever I see you. So you conducted this program very well. It's so smooth and very interesting. And next time you have to come up with your singing skills, right? We have to listen to your songs. Thank you so much, Swapna.
Thank you.
So I thank all our past chairs who are always there with us, whatever help we require. And coming to our sponsors, our treasure sponsors, Anushri Patodi Designing Clothing, Miss Anjana Shah, thank you so much. So, and then yeah. Hi, Anjana, thank you so much. Sierra Retreat, Pratibha, thank you so much, Pratibha.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you. And RBC, our branding partners. Ramakant Garu, thank you so much for being so patient and sitting with us all through. Thank you.
And also a strong learning experience, and I should thank you actually.
Thank you. And my co-committee members, so dynamic, so vibrant. You brought another beautiful program with so much of hard work. Thank you so much. You people are full of positivity, and I think you mastered the IT and then the visual programs. Fantastic, you people are doing. And at the same time, I thank Apireddy Garu and Pranay, who had given the IT support for us. And I thank all the members who are here with us today, and the media for their, being with us and covering the event, and all the viewers over there who are here viewing this program, and you are being here is of great encouragement for all of us. So before I take a leave, again, I would like to remind, please stay safe, not only from the COVID, from this heat wave too. So take care and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, Uma. On behalf of all of us at the FLO back office, thank you all for joining us. Your participation is all the encouragement we need. I urge all members to download the FLO office number on your phones to stay tuned with all the events and workshops that are being organized for you. Do not forget to subscribe to the Flow Hyderabad Facebook and Insta pages to catch glimpses and news of all our many, many activities. For any assistance regarding your membership and to advertise in the Flow Marketplace, have our in-hub team on quick dial. Pranay, can you play our sponsors video again, please? So thank you all once again. Thank you, Upasana. Thank you, Swapna. Thank you all our guests. Namaste.